Hello, and welcome back to rightorwrong.com and alanwright.tv. This is Alan Wright coming to you today to talk to you about my True Lies series of videos where I talk about the control structure in the world today and what it's doing to our way of life. I did an introductory video, I hope you've seen it, and I also did a video on the religious true lie, the government true lie, the corporate true lie. This is the fourth in that series, and this is about the media true lie. The media is the fourth pillar of the support structure for our world, if you will, our society, our social world. And it's in a serious state of disrepair from the point of view of the majority of people in the world today. Now, if you're living in one of these countries like Japan, the United States, countries of Europe, life's pretty good. Life's pretty good for this top 10% of the people in the world. But if you live in one of these other countries where predominantly the 90% of the world live in India, and China, and African countries, and places in Latin America, life's not so good. Now you may believe that it's because they're inferior beings, or they just don't have our work ethic. They're just not good Christians. Maybe you believe that. And it would be normal for you to believe that, because that's what the media, and I want to talk about what the media is, wants you to believe. They've been telling you lies that you have taken to be true, and so that is your truth. That's what a true lie is. It's an oxymoron. It's a lie that you believe to be true, and then you take actions based on that. It's not true, and it's very, very dangerous. As corporations have taken over from governments, beginning around this time of the Second World War, we have engaged in what I call, like my friend Jim Marrs calls, the rise of the Fourth Reich. So this video today is partly in honor of Jim Marrs, because he was right on target. Not about everything he talked about, but he was an exemplary human being writing about some very important things to the future health of our planet and to the future of the human race. Because the corporate giants that support this very small, less than 1% elite at the very top of this pyramid of modern slavery, the media supports them at the detriment of us. As you move up this graduated pyramid of slavery, these people closer and closer towards the top have pretty good life, as money and the wealth that is used in the military-industrial complex, this protection racket that's run by that elite, the banksters of the world. You are led to believe in a fairy tale sort of world, this fairy tale sort of way, by the media, that are the pimps for these elitists and the prostituting worker bees. The media has been lying to you. The media, from the time that the fairy tales that kids read, the textbooks that are written, the movies, the magazines, the television, the internet, all this media is controlled by a few corporations in the world today. They hire what they call journalists, the movie producers, the directors, and they put on a wonderful show of being independent. They're not. They report what they're told to report. The Associated Press, Reuters, they tell all the news outlets what news is and what. If you go around and look from channel to channel on your television for news, you'll find the same exact stories with very pretty little people sitting around talking about it to help you form your ideas about what's going on in the world. The media has been prostituted All of them. Believe it or not, they're not going to come right out and say it. They're not going to admit it. They all are making good, big salaries, supporting about half a dozen corporate media giants. They control what leads to how you think the world is, how you see it. But it's a lie. The truth is hidden behind the corporate veil. The truth is sordid. It's nasty. And many of you up here don't want to see that. So you're very comfortable with it. You love your movies. You love your TV. You love the stories that make us feel superior up here, elite. We're not the elite. They are. And they're playing us like a violin. They are playing us like a violin and using the media to do it. They hire dirty, stinking little lawyers and dirty, stinking little rooms to produce this dirty, stinking system. The banksters, the people who control the central banks of the world, the debt structure of the world. They're not using your tax money. Don't even think. The tax money doesn't even cover the debt, the interest on the debt. The trillions and trillions of dollars, it's fake money. It's fake money created by the central banks, but it's written off of your indebtedness and your indebtedness of your grandchildren. It's trillions and trillions of dollars. You don't have any idea how many tens, if not hundreds of trillions of dollars of fake money is behind this power structure. Those of you that think of yourself as conservatives or liberals are being equally fooled. It's two sides of the same coin. The coin's very real and the coin belongs to them, not you. You rent it. Jim Marrs was right. Some of these other writers, you need to look around, look a little closer for some of the independent journalists, some of the investigative reporters that are trying to tell you, like I am, about this dirty, stinking, true lie world that we live in. This was designed as a beautiful place to live, without all these little demarcations of control called countries, without all the fake corporations that are just legal fiction, without all these pretty little people on television and in the movies and who sit in offices and write books and tell you what to think and how to think it, who control the universities, who control the teaching establishment. I was a part of that system. I was actually on the board and part of a 19-state consortium called the North Central Association of Schools and Colleges. I know how this system works. It's dastardly. That's the word that comes to mind. It's awful. It's a crony capitalist system designed for them, by them, to control you and to suck the money, suck the power right up into here. You need to take it back. The purpose of these videos is not for me to look at me and hear me on the internet. The purpose of these videos is to tell you I am taking a stand and I want to try to help you do the same, because we're going to have to work together if we're going to stop these people. They're very powerful. It's a protection racket. The Pope is the leader of a protection racket. The Catholic Mafia. All the Ayatollahs and the mullahs and all them control the Iranian, or not the Iranian, I'm talking about the Muslim and the Islamic protection racket. All those crazy people are being fooled by the little thing about virgins in heaven and jihad, just like you're being fooled by the war on terror to make you fear so that you'll give them more and more power. So we can get a $700 billion military that goes out in these protection rackets and protects the corporations in these foreign countries to steal their oil, steal the resources, and move them up this way. You're not hearing the true story. It's out there. You can get it. I have all the books. I'll share them here. I'm going to share a lot of videos with you on this site. I hope you'll join me. I would like to show you in my solutions part of my website, the Right Conspiracy, about what you can do for your family and yourself and your friends and your colleagues in an ever-expanding, rippling effect. And yes, I do support a certain type of a patriotism for country and community of beliefs and ideals. But not this fake religious bullshit. Not this stuff about God and Allah and all that, those lies about resurrection and to put your life in the service of some superstitious fake entity. Serve your fellow man, serve yourself, serve your family first. And do so intelligently. And I'd like to help you do that. I've been working on this for a long, long time. I'm very capable of it, and I'm very capable of having a good discussion with you if you'll join me here online about how you can strategically build a plan for yourself and your family that'll work to help countermand a lot of this fabrication, these media true lies. I'd like to help, and I'd like to encourage you to spend more time on my site. I'd like to encourage you to comment. I'd encourage you to communicate with me. Well, this is the last video in this series, but I hope you'll see a lot of the other videos by others like Jim Marrs, John Pilmer, and just a lot of people that have really put their lives into trying to help. See the Corbett Report. Jim Corbett is an interesting guy. See others, Newsbud, others that are trying to get the word out. It's there, and you're not a communist or fascist or anything else by trying to learn it. People call me a rebel. I suppose I am, and I'm proud of it. So I hope that I can help you find a better way forward, and I'm going to leave it here at about 12 minutes, and I hope you'll join me again on this site, Alan Wright, rightorwrong.com, alanwright.tv, and therightconspiracy.com. Have a great day.